Good Friday evening, everyone. My name is Francis Tarasiewicz, and I'm a weather observer meteorologist coming to you from the summit about Washington. It's been a while since we've all met here on Facebook Live, or wherever you're watching us on. Apologies for that. It's been a couple of crazy weeks between failed shift changes and, of course, some dramatic weather. Hope you all, of course, had a wonderful, healthy Thanksgiving with your friends, family, and loved ones. I know there's lots to be thankful for up here on the summit of Mount Washington, namely 15 and a half inches of new snowfall or so, or 15.2 inches rather. Again, we're really enjoying that up here on the summit. And finally, some colder temperatures, well below average. You can see here from our vertical temperature profile, very temperature right around 12 degrees or so, and down at the base, 30 degrees. So a pretty significant temperature difference we've got. It's called a really steep lapse rate or change temperature with height. Side note here, the COG vertical temperature profile is live. We actually finished up this series of sensors back on the 21st. We had a grand opening. So I guess, another thing to be thankful for during the holiday season here of Thanksgiving. Let's take a look at winds here. Maybe a little less thankful for these at the moment. We're at 39 miles per hour right now, just shy of tropical storm force, as a matter of fact. And that's reintroduced some blowing and drifting snow up here on the summits. We were able to take a breath for a few hours at least the last couple of hours. And we're right back in the thick of it. Blizzard-like conditions out there on the summit. And just to go over how crazy the last 24 hours has been, we had a peak wind gust of 83 miles per hour, and again about 12 and a half inches of new snow just over the last day or so, not including the very beginnings of the storm yesterday. Taking a look now outside, again, there's not a whole lot to see. You can see a flickering light there that's a building across the summit, but again, we're back in the snow and fog, and snow's falling at a pretty good clip out there. We've got some scattered snow showers making their way to the White Mountains. So plenty of snow up here on the summit and surrounding summits as well. Totals down in the valley range anywhere from about 6 to about 12 inches or so. It's in the higher elevations in the sort of Gorham and Conway area. So pretty good snowstorm there. Nice white Thanksgiving. More of a classic New England winter feel to it up here on the summit and in northern New England in general. So a little bit of a recap of the storm there. Where are we going from here, and what are the big weather makers over the next weekend or so? So we've got a really zoomed out look at the water vapor satellite image. Those of you who regularly watch this show with me here on the Facebook Live know that I love to use this tool. This actually is able to tell us where moisture is in the atmosphere, especially the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So you can see these areas that are yellow, those are drier areas where there's less moisture. And areas that are blue to white and even green, those are areas with more moisture or even some cloud cover as well. And the reason I'm zooming out is because we have such a large weather feature that's going to be influencing us really for the next week or so. We've got a really deep upper level trough centered over the southern part of the Hudson Bay, all the way up there in the subarctic waters of Canada. So you can see the spin here. That's going to be our predominant weather maker again, not only through the weekend, but perhaps the next week or so. You can see yesterday's storm way out from the Canadian Maritimes. And we're thankful for the good dump of snow that it left behind. But this upper level trough is going to be building in throughout the overnight into the weekend. And closer to the surface of the Earth, where we're all more familiar with, looking at the weather radar, seeing what's actually falling from the clouds, the flow around the trough has meant a significant lake effect snow event. I'm talking feet and feet of snow just downwind of some of these lakes here, Erie and Ontario. You can see here, sort of putting in a lot of work this evening. You can see these narrow bands. And under those bands, you can have snowfall rates as high as 2 to 4 inches per hour. And again, lakes are almost completely unfrozen. They're well above average temperature-wise for this time of year. So how does lake effect snow work? Well, we've got cold air blowing around that trough of low pressure that's coming from Canada. It's going to go over the relatively warm waters of the Great Lakes. And the warm air and warm moisture, I should say, off those lakes is going to be able to rise in that colder air mass. And so what happens is you get the development of cumulus clouds, sometimes miniature cumulonimbus clouds, and of course with the rising air and just downwind of that, where the precipitation accumulates in the clouds significantly, you get heavy bouts of snow. So again, if you look back here at our current satellite radar, you can see some of those streams of lake effect snow. And believe it or not, some of them are even stretching as far as the White Mountains. We've got a lot of moisture that's interacting with the terrain, again, coming right off of Lake Ontario there, again, cooling over the White Mountains. And we can zoom in a little bit more here at some of those lake effect bands. Again, areas just south of Buffalo and Watertown as well, really getting dumped on with snow. A little jealous of them, honestly, even though we have 16 inches up here on the summit. Of course, personally, I'm a winter guy, so I could always use some more snowfall in my life. So how are these lake effect bands going to progress, and how are they going to affect our weekend weather. Well, let's take a look here at the forecast of precipitation for the next 48 hours or so. You can see the NAM model here, the North American Mesoscale, really picking up on those bands. And again, it has one that's going to go pretty much from Lake Ontario all the way to the White Mountains. And it's done a pretty good job picking up on that. Again, snow showers started a couple of hours ago in association with this band. Just the general moisture coming off of all of the Great Lakes and streaming in overhead here on the summit. So we'll see those showers continue on and off tonight. Of course, the heaviest snowfall totals will be closer to the lakes. Most of us will just see some snow showers, and especially here on the summit, so likely to be occasional intermittent snow showers. But those could add up a little bit. Could have some light accumulations going through the next couple of days. Speaking of the next couple of days, moving into Saturday here, we got more of the same. Yet another lake effect snow band. Man, some areas are really going to get a lot of snow. Again, I'm trying not to be too jealous of these areas just downwind of the Great Lakes here, the Tuckahoe Plateau and Buffalo area, respectively. Anyways, we're going to continue along with it. Saturday, again, those more of the same lake effect snow is going to continue. We've got a deep trough, lots of westerly and northwesterly flow around, and plenty of cold air to go around for everyone. And we'll see those showers continue all the way through Sunday. So it's going to be on and off. A little bit unpredictable as well as to when these bands are going to flare up and sort of wind down. They'll ebb and flow throughout the next 48 hours or so at least. Take a look at winds, of course. For lake effect snow, you need a good fetch of cold wind over those lakes, and we'll have no shortage of that. We'll see those winds pick up again tonight. Another wind disturbance rotating in around the larger trough will allow the winds to sort of increase overnight and into the day Saturday. Saturday, we'll see more of the same westerly, northwesterly winds, pretty elevated. Again, nothing too extreme for what we are used to up here on the summit. But again, if you're hiking up here or visiting the White Mountains, trying to ski or anything like that, it's going to be quite cold. High temperatures only climbing into single digits, and winds will be pretty busy, at least tropical storm force or so throughout the day tomorrow. Moving into Sunday, more of the same westerly and northwesterly winds, providing plenty of fetch over those Great Lakes, and plenty of cold wind chills up here on the summits. I think at 15 to 25 below or so, but I'll go over those details in just a couple of minutes. In terms of temperature, well, these are temperatures around 5,000 feet, so it'll be a little bit colder up here on the summits. This is showing again sort of temperatures in the middle parts of the White Mountains that we should expect over the next 48 hours or so. Yeah, really just putting the freeze on us here. Temperatures falling into the lower teens and upper single digits, at least at around 5,000 feet. Again, it'll be a little bit colder up here, perhaps middle single digits, even lower single digits going into the overnight tonight. Saturday, we're not going to see a whole lot of improvement. As I said, we're going to continue that flow of cold air from the west and northwest all the way to Saturday evening. And then more of the same Sunday, even a little bit colder Sunday, but again, single digits will be the rule up here in the higher terrain of New Hampshire. So let's break it down day by day here with our higher summits forecast. Of course, you can always check out our forecast. We issue it twice daily. You can find it at mountwashington.org/forecast. And again, you want to check this out. You also want to read the summary and the forecast discussion. A lot of people I know like to look at the individual numbers, but really just looking at the numbers alone isn't going to be the best way to plan a hike up here, as the discussion will talk about why the weather may change going over the forecast period. So you want to pay attention to both parts of our forecast. But anyways, I'll step off my soapbox here. Let's get into the actual daily details. So overnight, we'll be in the clouds. The snow showers likely coming all the way from New York State, which is pretty great, from these Great Lakes there. Snow accumulations at the trace to 2 inches. It'll be interesting to see what we get in the can overnight tomorrow morning. Temperatures will fall back in the upper single digits. I don't know if I'm ready for that mentally, but we've got to do what we got to do up here on the summits. Winds are going to be from the west, 35 to 50 miles per hour, gusting up to 60 or so overnight. The wind chill values will fall from 10 to 20 below, and as if that wasn't cold enough, 15 to 25 below overnight. For Saturday, we'll be in the clouds, more of the same, some scattered snow showers, additional snow accumulations of 1 to 3 inches. And the snow showers could occasionally fall a little bit more heavily if we have enough atmospheric instability. Again, today I mentioned that really large temperature difference just from the base of the summit of Mount Washington, and that will extend up through a large part of the atmosphere. So if you have enough of that instability, we could get briefly heavier snow showers here in the higher terrain of the White Mountains. Temperatures will improve, but not by much. 10 degrees. The biting west wind, 35 to 50 miles per hour, gusts all the way up to 60. The wind chill values will hold pretty steady, 15 to 25 below. For the overnight, we'll be in the clouds. More of the same, snow showers, possible accumulations of a trace to less than 2 inches, again, depending on the orientation of that band, which will fluctuate with time. Temperatures will fall back mid-single digits. More of the same, winds 35 to 50, gusts up to 60, and those wind chill values will crash even more, 20 to 30 below. And in those types of conditions, if you're unprepared, frostbite and complications due to cold weather can occur within as little as 30 minutes or so, and sometimes even less. So again, we want to be prepared for winter conditions. We're certainly firmly in winter here up in the higher terrain. Let's talk about Sunday really quickly before we wrap things up. Sunday will be mostly in the clouds and mostly cloudy skies, chance of snow showers, and additional snow accumulations of a trace to 1 inch or so. So starting to wind down the lake effect machine, but still it's going to be impressive for those areas just downwind of the Great Lakes, and I can't say it enough how jealous of them I am. Anyways, we'll start in the upper single digits. We'll fall into lower single digits during the afternoon as another one of those frontal systems that's embedded within that larger trough swings on through. Winds will be from the west, 35 to 50 miles per hour, decreasing somewhat to 25 to 40 miles per hour, and wind chill values will improve, but again, not by much, 20 to 30 below, rising to between 15 and 25 below. And with that, I want to wish everyone a happy, safe, and healthy weekend. Thanks again for checking out the Higher Summits forecast. Have a good one.